viewers, it's Cayley. I am back with another what sold from last week video. Yes, I'm in my car again. Gotta do what I gotta do. But I did want to come on and share my sales numbers from last week of all of the items I sold on eBay and Poshmark, as well as show you some of those selected items that you might want to pick up at your local thrift store to flip online for a profit. Let's jump right in. Okay, so all of these sales happened between January 23rd through the 29th. That is a Sunday through a Saturday, and that was sales on eBay and Poshmark, two platforms. In total, I sold 102 items for a gross sales total of $3,639.84, making my average sale price $35.68. My estimated cost of goods based on an average buy cost was $408, and then my estimated net, which is the gross less cost of goods, the fees, and the shipping cost, was $2,260.10. On eBay, I sold 61 items. On Poshmark, I sold just 41, which is actually pretty good for Poshmark. I feel like it's getting closer and closer to being neck and neck with eBay. Gross sales on eBay were just over $2,200, and on Poshmark, they were just over $1,400. We're going to dive into these sales. I did include some of the more bread and butter items while still having a good sell-through rate, as well as some bolos. So to start, on eBay, I sold this pair of Everlane women's dress pants. Everlane, in my opinion, is a really good brand to sell. They have a lot of really high quality items. I do find that they sit a little bit longer than some of my other items, but in general, I do really like selling Everlane, and it sells well for me. I do try to focus on the larger sizes. This is a size 10, which is a pretty moderate size, pretty average sizing, versus, picking up something like a size 0 or a size 2. So these are a pair of pull-on dress pants. I do find that the dress pants in the women's category does pretty good. I paid $4.99. They sold for full asking price of $37.99. I paid $5.99 for this Zara dress. It is kind of like a multi-pattern, multi-print dress, which is what I look for in Zara. I also look for midi to maxi length to really maximize my profits. This one I had listed for $31.91, and it did sell for my full asking price. This was something I picked up based on style. The brand is PJ Mark, but in general, that doesn't really matter to me. What does matter is this 3D knit print. This was kind of interesting because it was like a polo short sleeve sweater, but it had some really nice multicolor print. If you see anything like this with the 3D knit, especially when it's bright multicolor pattern like this, I would definitely say to pick it up. It is a great dupe for the Kuji bolo. You probably don't want to put the word Kuji in there, but what you do want to put is 3D knit, and that's really going to help to sell it. I paid $6.99 for this, so I paid a little bit up for it. It sold on an offer for $44.97. This is a brand I absolutely love selling, especially in the men's category. It is Duluth Trading Company. They make kind of outdoorsy stuff, and they're also pretty well known for their larger sizes. This is a 3XL tall, which is a great size in this brand. I paid $5.49 for this. It is a button-down shirt jacket, kind of like a workwear canvasy style, and I had it listed for $49.98. Someone accepted an offer of $44.98. Still doing really well with the brand Prana. This happens to be a pair of women's pants, but if you find men's Prana pants, they do even better. I paid $4.39 for these. They're just a pair of kind of outdoorsy, utility-looking cargo pants, and they sold for full asking price of $29.91. I never have trouble moving this brand. Here's a couple mall brands that I did sell this past week. This is the brand Talbots. I will pick up Talbots if there are certain factors stacked. In this case, it was because it was merino wool. And I do find that Talbots does have a following. I paid $4.39 for it. It sold for my full asking price of $24.91. Also picked up this small brand. It is Banana Republic, which has actually been performing really well for me in both the men's and women's category. I am very particular in what I pick up. In this case, I picked it up because it was new with tags and it was merino wool. I paid $4.39 for this. It did sell for full asking price of $29.91. Next up is this Calvin Klein women's puffer vest. I have really good luck with Calvin Klein when it comes to puffer vests and puffer jackets, especially when they are packable, when they're super lightweight. I really like picking up this brand. So this was actual down, and it was kind of like a rose gold metallic and black colored vest, which I think also helped to up the value a little bit. I paid $4.39 for this. It sold for my full asking price of $29.87. This is a brand I don't think I talk about often enough, and it is David Bitton, which is like, sometimes it's Buffalo by David Bitton. In this case, it was David Bitton exclusively for Buckle, which pretty much anything that sells at Buckle, I like to pick up in the men's department. I picked these up at the bins. They had the style name of Lucas, so it was pretty easy to look up. But in general, I would say David Bitton jeans do pretty well for me in the men's department. I once again picked these up at the bin, so I probably paid $2 to $3 for it, depending on how heavy they were. It did sell for my full asking price of $29.87. This is a pretty good bread and butter brand for me that I tend to pick up. Next up is another good bread and butter brand for me. This is LL Bean. This is a men's size large tall. Larger sizes in this brand definitely help to sell it. I paid $4.39. It sold for full asking price of $29.87. And in general, this Henley style shirt where it's like a quarter to a half button has been performing really well in a lot of brands. Another men's brand I like selling is Untuck It, and I pretty much pick up everything in this brand. It definitely has gone down in its value, but it still has a really good sell-through rate, and it's just enough for me to continue picking it up. I paid $4.39 for this Henley. It sold for my full asking price of $24.87. This is a surprising sale that I wanted to share with you. The brand is Old Navy, which is definitely a brand in general I would say I stay away from unless it is special or unless it is larger sizing. This one happened to have a couple things. I picked up at the bin, so it was cheap. It was a size extra large, and it was a long sleeve floral dress. So for all of those factors, I decided to get it. And in general, in this brand, I find that Old Navy larger sizes and plus sizes seem to have a good sell-through rate. I listed this for $17.87, and it did sell for my full asking price. This is another bins pickup. This is the brand Michael Kors. I think people passed on this because there was a little bit of, I guess, it needed to be wiped down a little bit, and as you can see, it still did have a couple spots shown, but it was a really nice high quality baby bag, and maybe that's also why they left it behind. But I looked up Michael Kors baby bags. They were doing really good. I listed mine for $59.87. It sold on an offer very quickly for $53.88. This is another bins pickup, and this is definitely something a lot of resellers pass on, are these Y2K looking shoes with the platform heel. In particular, the Skechers do extremely well. I found out that they were called the Jammers, and all of these keywords are really good to put into a shoe like this regardless of brand. Just specifically Skechers, these are called the Jammers, and I would keep your eye out for them. So I picked these up at the bins once again, and I had it listed for $39.88. It did sell for full asking price. This was something I picked up at a regular thrift store. I paid $4.29 for it. It is Gunny Sacks by Jessica McClintock, and I'm well aware of like their wedding dresses in this brand, their prairie dresses, but I didn't realize that they also just made blouses. And so because this was very kind of cottagey, I decided to get it because I thought it was really on trend. I was really happy with the comps. I listed mine pretty high at $59.99, and it did sell for my full asking price. So if you come across this and it's kind of a prairie or a cottagey style, definitely worth getting. These next two are both the same brand and both from the bins, and I exclusively have been picking this up at the bins. However, based on the sell price that I'm getting for some of these things, I'm kind of considering that maybe I might pay full price at a thrift store depending on what the item is. So the brand is Knox Rose. I do try to stick to the more larger sizes. This is a size extra large, really nice, pretty bohemian top. Honestly, nothing special, and I think this brand is sold at either Kohl's or Target or Walmart. Either way, I don't care because it has a really great sell-through rate. I definitely think it's important to put the word bohemian in your title if it applies. I think that this keyword really makes the biggest difference in this brand and whether your item sells. Listed this one for $24.91. It sold for $22.42. And again, I got this one at the bins as well. This was just a size medium, but it was more substantial. It was a chambray tiered knee-length dress. I had this listed for $29.91. It sold on an offer for $26.92. This is a band hoodie slipknot, and whenever I come across any hoodies, sweatshirts, or jackets that are band related, I almost always do a comp. They can be kind of rare to find depending on what year they were made, and so I tend to pick them up. I paid a little up for this. I paid $5.99. I listed it for $49.97. It did sell for full asking price. Slipknot, as well as a lot of other rock or metal bands, is typically what I'll look for in these kinds of things, regardless of brand. This is a new to me brand. I just recently picked these up. It's called Mizmooz, Mizmooz, and I was really surprised with the comps for these. So these were called the Duchess ankle wrapped buckle boots. I was able to figure that out pretty quickly based on the information on the inside. I paid $5.99 for this. My thrift store did price it up $1, which was kind of surprising. I listed this for $39.91, and it sold very quickly on an offer for $35.92. I did see some other boot styles in this brand when I was doing comps that sold for even more, so definitely worth keeping your eye out for this brand. Last item on eBay I wanted to show you before we move over to Poshmark was this pair of Torrid jeans. I've really slowed down on Torrid pieces lately, especially in the denim, because the comps just aren't there. I don't know if too many people are selling them or what, but I'm very picky. I got these because they were a size 18 and they were a slim boot, and I paid $4.99 for it. It sold for our full asking price of $27.91. I would just be careful with this brand in denim right now because, like I said, I think the market has become oversaturated. Moving on to some Poshmark sales. This was an interesting sale. I sold this Madewell women's leather jacket. Little bit of a story behind this. A long time ago, I found a Madewell leather jacket at a thrift store. It sold for hundreds of dollars. I was really happy with that. So because of that, I was looking online for any kind of Madewell leather jackets. Without really thinking about it, I picked this one up. I paid way up for it. I paid $40.65 for this, I believe, on Mercari, and I didn't really consider the style. The first one that I talked about that I found at a thrift store was a moto style. This one was double-breasted and wasn't exactly, I guess, as on trend as the other one. And so I made sure to style it properly in the photo so that it was kind of moto-esque, and then also just to include a lot of those features. So I paid about $40 for it. It did end up selling for $209, but I will tell you that I have been sitting on this for a long time, and I don't think that I would do that again. So just goes to show you that style really matters, especially when you are online sourcing and going to pay up for items. Overall, I am happy that this sold, but again, it did take a very long time to sell at that price. Next up is this men's Lululemon tank top. I've actually found two of this exact tank top before, so this was really easy to list and to price. I paid $4.39 for it. It sold for $38. I like showing the men's Lululemon sales simply because a lot of people don't realize that Lululemon does sell men's items, and they actually perform really well, if not better, than the women's. This was another men's item that sold on Poshmark. This is the brand Bird Dog. I believe in the last What Sold video, I shared that the other pair of these had sold, the tan ones, and these are a 34 by 34, darker style. In general, if you see this brand, definitely worth getting, and it has a little like bird on the button. That was my first time seeing that, but I will definitely continue picking these up. I paid $4.99 for them. It sold for $64. Another men's item, this is a pair of Tommy Bahama men's jeans. Tommy Bahama men's jeans always sell for between $30 and $40 for me. These were a little bit of a larger size, and they ended up selling for $35. I paid $4.39 for them. One thing that kind of sets these jeans apart is they are super thin because they're made out of cotton and tinsel. So if you ever come across Tommy Bahama jeans and they feel very, very thin, just know that that is normal, and that's actually why people like them. I tend to pick up pretty much any Tommy Bahama men's jeans that I come across if they're in good condition. This is another pair of men's jeans. I definitely don't pick up every American Eagle men's jeans. It really depends on the style on the inside. In this case, these ones were called the skinny. I also consider the size. I'll typically do a comp with the style and the size. We took a chance on these because of the wash pattern as well as the distressing, which I think helps to add value in American Eagle men's jeans. I paid $4.99 and they sold for $35, which is really good for a pair of pre-owned jeans. This is a new brand that I'm just now becoming familiar with. I found 2 of these pieces at the bins. This is NVGTN. I don't know if that stands for something. All I know is that it has a really good following. This is a crop built-in bra, like crop top. I also sold a couple weeks ago a bra in this brand, and both of these sold extremely quickly. So if you come across this brand, I definitely say look into it. It seems to have a really good following. This one I got at the bins. It was very lightweight, so it probably cost less than $1, and it sold for $30. This is one of my favorite bread and butter brands to sell. It is Soft Surroundings. I am pretty picky with this these days. I tend to look for the larger sizes. This was a size extra large, and then something a little bit more substantial. This was a floral long sleeve tunic top, so I felt pretty confident with those factors. Paid $4.39 for it. It sold for $25. This is another men's item. We found this at the bins as well. This is a pair of Rag & Bone men's jeans. And in general, I really love picking up Rag & Bone, not only in men's, also in women's. In particular, this standard issue fit to slim leg seemed to be a really popular style. These were also a button fly, which in men's jeans in a lot of brands helps to up the value. So with all of those factors combined, we did pick these up and they sold for $50. Rag & Bone is one of those brands that I do feel like you have to sit on, but these ones actually sold really quickly. This is another Bolo brand I would definitely keep your eye out for. It is Spanx. In particular, the faux leather leggings do really well. We got these for $4.39 and it sold very quickly for $51. These are highly sought after, not just in the faux leather look, but also other things in this brand as well. But definitely the faux leather look is going to bring the most money for you. This was also a bins pickup. This is a new age t-shirt, and I pick up a lot of new age and vintage t-shirts, but what I look for in the modern band tees is for a little bit of fading, distressing, or something a little bit more unique. That way it kind of has an edge on the other ones, because there's probably a ton of these t-shirts out, but not all of them have distressing like this. So for that reason, I picked this up at the bins. And the bins is kind of a great place to experiment with picking up modern band tees. That way you're not investing a whole lot of money into them. This one surprisingly sold pretty quickly at $25. This is a Patagonia kids jacket. Patagonia is a really great brand to sell. This one had some staining throughout, as you can see here. I did try to wash it out, but it did not come out. I'm still glad that I picked it up, because even with those light staining on the front, it still sold for $31 and I only paid $4.99 for it. I am willing on certain brands to pick up things with slight flaws on them, depending on what it is, and this was one of those cases.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how your sales are going for you, as we have now been 1 month into the new year. You know, I've been hitting about the same amount every single week, and I think that is that everything has just caught up to the consistent listing that I've been doing for the past year. If you're not already and you would like to be, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, as well as the notification bell. That way you get notified as I make these videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.